decision is dangerous.
The Georgia Guidestones have been blown up and then subsequently demolished. They are done. See you later, globalist Stonehenge or satanic ritual spot, or both, depending on what you want to believe about these mysterious stones. You're probably seeing this all over social media. We thought it was a very interesting story, very interesting history. Let's get into what the hell these things are and why they are officially now destroyed. Is this a spot for satanic ritual? Is this a spot where the Antichrist is going to come back? Is this the stone that will guide America past a nuclear holocaust? That's what people say. Even Yoko Ono, who was John Lennon's wife, went and worshipped once at the stones. What the hell is that about? And is there a connection to CNN's founder, Ted Turner? What a weird mystery these things are. Let's jump in. Why did the Georgia Guidestones get blown up this week? Okay, so what are the Georgia Guidestones? The Georgia Guidestones are named after the state of Georgia, and they're guidestones for a new way for humanity. The Georgia Guidestones were commissioned in 1979 by a guy named Robert C. Christian. People think that's a pseudonym. Christian explained that the stones would function as a compass, calendar, and clock should the world be capable of withstanding a catastrophic event. Christian said he wanted a granite monument built that could rival the British Neolithic monument Stonehenge, so it draws from inspiration from that hedonistic monument Stonehenge, where we know there was human sacrifice and where we know that there was hedonism. However, he noted that while impressive, Stonehenge had no message to communicate, so he wanted to write his message for the way the world should move on past a holocaust, like a nuclear holocaust. Now, he wrote 10 rules for the new world on his stones, likening these stones to the 10 Commandments, and he wrote those messages in multiple different languages. 10 principles engraved in 8 different languages: Arabic, English, Hebrew, Hindi, Russian, Spanish, Swahili, and traditional Chinese. Here are his principles, and here's where the problems really begin. These stones say that there should be population control, that there should be only 500 million people on Earth at any time. This is rule number 1. Maintain humanity under 500,000 in perpetual balance with nature. That sounds like population control. That means that 80% plus of the world population right now needs to be eliminated. That's what the first rule calls for. So you can see why people have a little bit of a problem with these stones. There are 330 million people in America right now. I mean, what does that mean for the population of America? There are billions of people in India and China. Yikes. Guide reproduction wisely. Improving fitness and diversity is rule number 2. Well, what the hell does that mean? It means eugenics, as far as I can read it. I'm no scholar, but that looks like eugenics. Let only fit people reproduce. Guide reproduction wisely. The classic trope of like an alpha race or a superhuman race or a master race that rules over the rest of the world. This is the kind of language that the most evil regimes and administrations have always used in order to get about the business of creating a eugenics program. Unite humanity with a new language. Well, that's rule number 3. So that's essentially calling for a global language and the abolishment of all traditions. And rule number 4 literally calls for the abolishment of all human traditions. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. So that's essentially saying no more religion, no more traditions that would galvanize a certain group of people or a certain race together. None of those things. We need to get rid of that. Number 5 says protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. So that's calling for a world court. Rule number 6, let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Again, calling explicitly for world government. Number 7, avoid petty laws and useless officials. Okay, I guess everyone can sort of get behind that, but here we are. In rule number 8, balance personal rights with social duties. So that sounds like social credit scores right there. Balance personal, so that's personal liberty versus the shareholder responsibility you have, ESG score, call it what it is. Prize the truth, beauty, love, and seek harmony with the infinite, says rule number 9. That's just I mean, again, that's just naturalistic, humanistic crap right there. And number 10, be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. That's what Rule 10 says. Leave room for nature sounds a lot like the World Economic Forum. It sounds a lot like the cult of the climate change freaks who protest and block streets and get chucked into the ditch and like try and ruin everything for all the rest of us. So it sounds kind of like a humanistic climate cult, new world order, new liberal world order kind of thing here going on. So you can see why. We're not going to really get into it. There's a lot of things said about these stones. How much of it is true? Well, we have no evidence that there was actual satanic rituals going on at the stones. We scoured the internet and found no actual evidence of that. That's what people say. They say that this is satanic hedonism happening at the stones and that these stones have been erected essentially to guide forth from Stonehenge, that was created 5,000 years ago in England, guide forth the hedonistic child sacrifice of these ancient peoples, right? To bring forward this new world where we have to live in. And that's why these stones have always been sort of the target for people saying, this ain't it, Jack. This is not the way we want to live, because they do kind of explicitly call for world government and then world population control and the worship of nature and the dissolution of all religion. There's going to be a lot of people who are not in favor of that. They don't all live in this country. They live all around the world. People not popular there. Trust me, the Great Reset is not going well. You can see that now with the Dutch farmers. You can see that now with these guide stones. As we stated, the guide stones at 4 a.m. were reduced to rubble. One of them was, and then subsequently the Georgia Bureau of Investigation and the sheriff of Elbert County in Georgia reduced the rest of it to rubble, demolishing the entire structure because it was no longer safe. Probably leading to a lot of people being happy who thought the guide stones were indeed, a portal to hell and a guide for a world without religion and a world without America and a world that would be essentially constrained by a globalist government obsessed with human population control and eugenics. So, is this a bad thing? It depends on your perspective. We don't like vandalisms. We don't like bombings. We think people can get hurt. We disavow Antifa. We disavow people fighting with the police and destroying structures that aren't theirs. However, there's going to be a lot of people really happy that this message that many, including me, see as the ultimate evil, population control, eugenics, the worship of nature, the dissolution of religion, the dissolution of nations and nation states, and the dissolutions of human rights, the implementation of social credit scores and population control and nature worship. Guys, that's totally up. Those are evil principles. Again, you see those principles making the world a worse place all around the globe. It is an obsession. It is a cult. There are spiritual elements in this world that can harm us. And so it is time that we take a step back and say, yeah, what was being said on these tablets, not good. And so that's why you see probably many people you follow on the internet, depending on how base they are, cheering that the Georgia Guidestones are indeed no more. Thank you so much for watching. Our channel is here for the truth and also to make you smile a little bit in this extreme era of disinformation and misinformation and people trying to control your brain and what happens inside of it. It's so important that we support independent creators like our channel, and we thank you for watching. If you want to check out some more of our videos, we highly encourage that. Please punch the like and subscribe buttons on your screen to support our channel. It's free. And ladies and gentlemen, please make sure that you are following along with independent creators who want to keep this place free. God bless you.